Hello, welcome back. Steve's Retirement Corner. The importance of a life insurance plan in retirement. Notice I said life insurance plan and not policy. Big difference, I think. I hated to do this one on a Friday. I mean, such a hard-hitting topic. But it's something I've been meaning to talk about and putting off. I've had other things come up I wanted to say, and I've gotten some questions on it. I had a question on in my last live, I believe, and I've just never addressed it the way I should have. I don't believe, but I don't know that an actual policy is that important in retirement, but it's extremely important to have a plan on how you're going to handle your funeral or your spouse's funeral. To me, having a plan for that is just as important as having your three papers down. Your will, your power of attorney, and your advanced medical directive. Because your life insurance policy ain't actually going to benefit you; it's going to benefit the ones you love. The people in your family. Your husband, your wife, or maybe even your kids, and it really depends on your individual situation, just like every daggone thing else. If you're single and you got no dependents of any kind, you don't own a house or anything, you can go a little different route with it. And there's so many daggone different ways to go about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at an annuity. A lot of people have annuities. And basically, that's a daggone life insurance with maybe an income rider or inflation protection rider or what do you call that? Nursing home rider on it or whatever, But it basically starts out as a daggone life insurance plan policy. They have final expense thing policy you can get on. I seen it advertised on TV. I don't know what all it covers. I ain't looked into most of this stuff. I did look into annuities probably 10-15 years ago for Dad. He was curious about getting one, and I ruled it out for me, but that's a personal decision. The best thing you can do is to get somebody that knows what the heck they're talking about. I don't know who it would be. I'd be afraid to go to an insurance person. I'd be afraid they're just trying to sell it to me. But then, financial advisor, I just don't know. But heck, you could go to both of them and see, But as far as that daggone final expense policy, like I said, I don't know whether it covers your actual funeral, casket, and everything, or if it just covers medical bills and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't have no idea. But it's got to be it's probably not going to be as much of a final number you get, but it's probably a little cheaper too than having to pay every month for a daggone life insurance policy. I don't know. But then you get your traditional life insurance policies, either term or whole term. Or whole life. How's that? And then you can just self-insure, put back a few grand, and hope it covers everything. And then somebody had asked me about a daggone what do you call prepaid funeral expense. Hey man, I think that's a great idea. Thing is, you just got to be careful. It's like everything else. You got to be careful and read the fine print, because some of them, when the time comes that you need it, you still have to pay. A friend of ours down the street had that happen to him. They had bought a daggone prepaid plan, but when the time come they needed it, they still owed money for I was talking to the wife about it, and I think it was the granite for the stone had went up since she signed the policy, and so she had to come off the difference. But they have riders on that too. You got to be sure you're getting what what you want when you do it. Just like in annuities, if you move out of state, is you gonna be able to transfer it to the out of state? If a funeral home shuts down, you gonna be able to, what happens to your policy you just bought? Is it null and void? Do you get your money back, or can you transfer it to another one, or whatever? And you got to be careful about for the annuities is if the insurance company's stable, if it's going to be around in 20, 30 years when you need it. There's a lot to look at on them things, but I think it's important because I look at insurance as like a necessary evil. For me, insurance is to protect me down the road from a major financial catastrophe. Now this ain't gonna protect me from a major financial catastrophe, but it might help the wife. When you lose your spouse or a child even, you're not in your right frame of mind. It messes you up. I've been fortunate I ain't had that trouble. But I've got relatives and friends that have been in that situation, and it's they're just not thinking right. And that's sort of like that video I did a while back about what the heck was that one about? Oh, not fixing what ain't broke, and how the bucket system helped me making a bad move out of worry or fear or when I'm not thinking right. It's the same for an insurance policy. You're not thinking right at the moment you need it. A life insurance policy like that, at least having that taken care of will be a big help to the wife, I hope, and the kids. Crazy as it sounds, she don't need a daggone bit of help. She can run her own life. She's just as independent as a person can be. She can make out just fine. But I still worry about her if something was to happen to me, and I'd like to help her out the best I can. And by having a plan in place, I feel I'm doing that. I don't know. But I was fortunate. I got to carry my life insurance over from work. Like I said, it's around a couple $100,000. It's $6 a month. From now until I'm 65, 8 more years, what'd that be? 8 times 54? Heck, I don't know, man. No, 8 times 72. So it's a little bit less than $600. My thought is, if I have a unexpected death between now and 65, she'll have the funeral paid for. She'll have the leftover to recoup a little bit of what we've taken out. So, that's my thought on the matter. In the meantime, from now until then, in case I do, am fortunate to live to 90 or 100 or whatever, we plan on squirreling a little bit back, a little bit each year. Probably start out with about $5-10 grand, then add a little bit each year, until we get it to where it'll cover both of us. That's the way Mom and Dad handled it. They had like a CD, I believe it was, and it worked out fine. So you don't want to make any bad decisions, or any decisions under off of emotions. And by having a plan in place like that, it helps take the emotions out of the equation. That's what I was trying to say earlier. But well, y'all take care. Go about your weekend not thinking about this, but it's important to have, I think. And it just really depends on your situation. When you got little kids to grandkids you're taking care of, or if you have a disabled child or disabled spouse or something, That's we don't know anything but the truck. And she can send that, let the bank take that back. So it's not to pay for the bills, you know, but it's a little money along to help her, and it should take care of my final doings, you know. I don't know. Well, y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to y'all later.